just gets repurposed, and now it's an apartment. And like the fact that you wake up every day and you live life here where it used to be a completely different space.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just cool how you can repurpose it. But yeah, as far as the building goes, I think the energy in this place is...
Yeah. That makes me think of the people who designed the building.
Yeah.
Because they designed it for a special purpose.
Oh, yeah. Because this building is, like, extremely fucking old, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a big project.
Is it funded by the city?
It was, like, the first high school in South Bend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why, like, there's so much energy here.
Yeah.
It's, like...
So,
that's why it feels like it's, like... How we were talking earlier, it's, like, almost walking on, like... a form of, like, sacred ground. Because there's so much history.
The purpose has lived its life here, and now it's, like, we're in the artifact of it. But purpose is, like, its own free-flowing thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if they're really designing for its purpose... Right now, its purpose is an apartment.
Right. Because I think I was here like the day that you guys moved in.
Yeah, you were like
something.
Our first guest.
Yeah, like one of the first days or nights or whatever, and you told me that it was the first pool that was ever built in South Bend, and the fact that like we're sitting in it
strikes
now.
You.
Yeah, it's like we're definitely like weird's not the term that I want to use for it, but
it's a one of a kind.
For sure, absolutely.
To think that people were swimming where we're sitting right now.
Right. Dude, what's funny is that, like, I'm sure that, like, out of all the people that probably passed through, at least one of them had to have thought that.
Mm-hmm.
You think? It's...
One.
At least one.
Yeah. All we need is one. A phrase that I think about a lot is future events affecting present cognition.
Mm-hmm.
Premonition is what I'm talking about. People that have dreams, basically like see the future.
You mean as in like, why is it that some people have like premonitions or like intuition, and they follow that intuition and they can kind of capitalize on that? If
like is it a skill that we can gain and everyone can gain?
I don't know if I would necessarily say it's a skill. I think it would be more so being like a testament to being how in tune you are with yourself.
Yeah, I think it's like possible for everyone to...
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I never used to really read into my intuition and never used to really even think much of it. And
do you think we would know that we're experiencing a singular moment if we learn to use that ability all the time? Or would we just be at like a constant state of like energy and not really be conscious of the moment?
Well, I mean, I guess to kind of answer that question with a question, it would be like, what do you perceive consciousness as?
Yeah.
But kind of just like a stalemate of energy.
Yeah.
And being able to experience like the aspects and the benefits and good and bad of every single moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
so like consciousness, you know that everyone has their traits and that they're different, but we kind of think consciousness is like very consistent, like person to person.
Right.
Experience is like pretty similar, but may not be true or accurate. That everyone that you know or relate to is like experiencing consciousness in a similar way. Dude,
what's crazy is I was actually fucking thinking about this at work earlier.
Yeah.
It was just like when I was like driving home from work, and I was just thinking about life, and I was thinking about perception, and you know, like you only know like what you've experienced, mm-hmm. and like what you've seen and what you've felt and what emotions have come to the forefront of your mind due to whatever the circumstances may be.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, you can only assume like what you know, and everybody's walk of life is different. So it's like you have no idea. Like you can talk to people, You can hear about their experiences. You can really, like, get to know somebody.
Yeah.
But
don't you think that's a human privilege also? Like, an octopus also doesn't communicate like humans. I feel like that's kind of a human privilege to be able to, like, learn from each other like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the fact that you and I can sit here right now and have a conversation, just having the ability to speak and having language. Because language is, like, the most powerful thing that's ever been created, I think. Like, just having the ability to speak and have conversation.
Is language what made our evolution become exponential?
I think a way you could think about it is how technology grows now. It's like how every year it grows like 4 times faster, whatever. You know, it goes up quicker and quicker, and the fact that we're developing technology at the rates that we are, and think we only know the technology that we have. So it's like we don't even know what the government has classified, whatever. It's a whole different story.
Right.
But so I definitely think kind of like tying that back to language, having the ability to communicate, I think plants a seed for like a thirst of knowledge for sure.
Yeah. So like that kind of does tie back to consciousness.
Oh yeah.
Like as an octopus or as a fox.
Right.
Like
foxes.
You're conscious.
You know I love foxes.
Right, yeah. I threw that in there.
Fuck yeah. Well, don't you think that like animals obviously already communicate in ways that they understand now? Like you can look at how pretty much like any, but like for example, like you can look at like coyotes.
Yeah.
So coyotes, they have like tactics to where one coyote will like go out to where like a field of like cattle or whatever they're trying to fucking get, whatever it is, and it'll fucking like play dead, and then the rest of these coyotes will hide in the trees, and then this dog or cattle, whatever it is, goes to like check out what's up with this dead coyote's doing, this playing dead coyote, and then they all come out, and then they strategize. So
a strategy.
Yeah, so it's like different forms of animals, like they have, and you could like say the same with.
I wonder how they chose who was gonna go, or if it was just a volunteer.
Here's a question for you: do you think it's language that separates us from that same sort of communication or behavior?
When it comes to language, it's all about the receiver. Once it's received, that's the magic.
Like I definitely agree with you that like energy is constantly flowing to something. I definitely don't think that it's ever like it always knows where it's going. Like it never is unknowing of its destination. You know what I mean? So
future and present cognition.
Yeah. So I mean it's thank you very much. It's an everlasting cycle of energy in this world that's infinite, in this universe, not just this world, you know what I mean? So I think that energy may go out into the air and it may not have an instant receiver, but I do think that energy
You're so smart.
hits the receiver and the energy knows...
Or one way or another.
Yeah, or one way or another. You know, and I think that's when, like how we were talking about earlier, like how this building has really weird energy. I really think that this energy
There's
knows.
energy in it.
Yeah, like it's almost like the energy lingers in this building.
Yeah.
And it attaches itself to you. So it could be like past energy that kind of like consumes you. And I think there's energy in everything. Think of how many people go through a school in a day in the middle of the year. And think of how many people go through your home throughout an entire year.
Yeah.
So think of how much energy would be rubbed off into the walls, into the air, into the fabric of this building. Or is
These are all questions that we knowingly are just putting out there.
Right, yeah. Because I mean, we don't know. I mean, no one.
Yeah.
No one knows. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Who knows? I think it's Tim Everton. Ezraclancy.
Ezraclancy, a.k.a. Can tell you what I just released, and then I'll tell you about what I have coming up. How about that?
Yeah, do that.
So I just released an EP that's called Greetings from Cincinnati, and I released that on December 4th of last year. It's available on all streaming platforms.
What's it called again?
Greetings from Cincinnati. So after I recorded the first EP, Fruits and Foxes, I took about a month and a half to 2 months actually. I took about 2 months off and didn't really do any writing, didn't really do any producing, just kind of took a break after releasing that project, and then I started slowly getting back into producing and writing. And I wanted to initially do, as my second project as an artist, I wanted to do a full-length album. You know, between working a full-time job and being in a relationship and being in a long-distance relationship at that, you know, it's like life gets in the way, and I didn't have time to do a full-length album.
And you produce all
Yeah,
yourself?
I produce everything myself, so I record everything at home and mix it, and then I send it to you to master it.
It's kind of ironic that you've spent so much time learning the skills of playing instruments and mixing and recording, and then when you're ready to do your album, you have to find the time.
Oh, dude, it fucking sucks.
Because during that learning period, it's like you're learning that because you have the time, and and that is what you're spending all your time on.
Yeah.
With more responsibility, you have to manage that time, and you have to kind of like prioritize.
It's definitely hard to like hammer out time in a day to sit down at my desk and produce, but I managed to get it done. Yeah. Not every single day, but as much as I can for sure.
Yeah, I think all those things that
I gotta write my shit down.
That's exactly what I was getting to. Pen to paper.
Yeah, dude, that's the only way that I get
pen and paper.
The only way that I get anything done is pretty much if I write like a to-do list, or I write my schedule out for the day.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, pretty much if I don't write it down, I probably don't get it fucking done.
Yeah, that's kind of the first step towards accomplishing anything, is like conceptualizing it, putting your hand.
Yeah, you got to make it like seeing it physically, or like reading it, like having it in front of you, being able to hold the piece of paper, whether it's in a journal or just a piece of paper, whatever, and being able to see like, okay, I have to do this, and it's like I took time out to fucking write it down, so it's like just fucking do the thing, you know. It's whether it's just something as simple as taking the trash out.
Yeah,
it's like,
and
just fucking do it.
Very technically, if you're the type who needs to set things in place to do things, take it technically. When you write something down, it enters other parts of your brain.
My lists are all like kind of very scattered, and I like section them off, and like I draw like weird shapes around whatever the writing is.
Yeah.
And just kind of like make it different sections, and it kind of looks like a collage by the time I fill up an entire page, and then I just like do like giant X's through whatever it is that I finish, and then I can see what else I have to do, and it's kind of like a giant.
Yeah, if it's a
kind of looks like a Candyland game board of shit that I need to get done for the day.
Yeah, sometimes my lists will take like 3 versions until they're actually like readable for someone else to look at.
Fuck yeah.
The first one is just like the pour out.
Yeah.
Of, like the ideas and the things you want to focus on, and then like formatting.
You ever like write a full fucking page of ideas, and then like come back to it the next day and you just cannot fucking read it?
Yeah,
you just look at this and you're just like, what in the?
I have one right over there.
You're just like, what the fuck did I mean by this? And it's like you're trying to like decode a Zodiac killer cipher.
Yeah, I really want to go over there and grab this example because it's hilarious. Because, like, I looked at it today.
Do it.
All right, I will. 1 second. This is the first list, and I looked at this, and...
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, right away.
All over.
Yeah, all over the place, and there's actually sentences that overlap each other over and over. And the sentences sometimes go up and down, left and right to left, and then...
man, this is like a fucking jigsaw puzzle of...
Yeah, I don't think anyone could read the bottom, even though they're all words.
I can't read, period.
I can't read. And so this, and then this is the refined.
Oh, this is the...
It's literally numbered and
my God. So, anyway, going back to,
music production.
Yeah, music production, and how Greetings from Cincinnati ended up getting its name.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying, I didn't have time to produce a full-length album, and I had some songs I had 3 songs, actually, the 3 that are on it, that were finished, that were mixed, that pretty much only needed mastering, and then they were ready to go, they were ready to be released, and, when I had this realization, my girlfriend, Emma, and I went to Cincinnati for the weekend just to kind of get out of town. We got a hotel and did some stuff down there. The American Sign Museum is down there.
Oh.
I make signs for a living, so that's...
It's pretty cool when you get to see
just a random thing. It was cool. There was like a fuck ton of neon signs there and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking dope if you're in Cincinnati and you haven't seen it.
You
should go check it out if you're in Cincinnati and listening to this podcast.
What is it?
It's the American Sign Museum.
The American Sign Museum.
Yeah, in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah,
fucking cool.
Throw on Greetings from Cincinnati.
Yeah, throw on Greetings from Cincinnati. So
in
anyway,
one ear, this cast in the other ear, and then go to the museum.
Yes.
You'll be there.
Fuck yeah. So when we were in Cincinnati, I kind of had that realization that I was like, fuck, I can just get these 3 mastered and I can release them and just do an EP. So I was like, Greetings from Cincinnati would be a good name. But anyway, there was one point and I asked her and she said that she liked it. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I think I'm going to run with it. And then that was kind of the thing.
Stuck.
Yeah, it kind of stuck. And
and she makes your art.
Yeah,
for all your albums.
Yeah,
so
she
if you check it out, that's
yeah, if you look
Tim's
at any of the album artwork, my girlfriend Emma Goddard does all of the artwork, and I'm very, very thankful for her for that. And,
yeah, she's great. I just got to meet her.
Yeah, super. She's so talented.
Yeah,
she does so much. She's been making a lot of collages lately, and she's been making like different tarot cards.
Yeah.
In like her own collage style, and they're fucking amazing.
That is cool.
Yeah. She's I think she's just doing the major arcana right now.
Yeah, I wonder if she can make copies of her tarot cards.
Oh, she makes prints.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I'll show you some of her stuff after this, and
Yeah, I think tarot is such a interesting art form because it has its own style.
Oh yeah.
And
I love tarot. Right.
Style.
Yeah, like the Rider tarot deck
and the
art.
card itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Emma got me into tarot card reading. And,
so, do people carry their tarot cards in their bag with them?
Emma does.
Emma
I
does.
don't.
Because
I keep mine at home.
Emily has hers in the room, and
she doesn't always carry
them
with her.
She broke them out at a random time, just like on her own.
Oh, yeah.
And last night, our friend from Alaska came in and spent a couple days here, and she was traveling with her tarot cards.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for some people, it's more of a personal thing. I think it varies person to person. I mean, for me, it's pretty personal. I normally do it either alone or with Emma, but like I've done readings for friends before. It's nothing.
I've actually never had my tarot read.
Dude, I'll read your tarot. Yeah.
I
The next time you're at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, I have my deck there.
I
I don't normally carry it with me, but if I travel,
Mm-hmm.
if I go like pretty far, I'll travel with
Is it
Depends how long I'm going to be gone.
How many people have you done this to?
Like, how many people have I done readings for?
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4.
Do they
not
do they
all
all
lot.
Respond similarly?
Like, they've all told me that it's been extremely accurate for them, and they've, like, interpreted it pretty, like, very well.
In the moment, do they, like, react kind of like...
Yeah, I've had, like, they're just like, whoa, or
okay,
they're just like, yeah. I've had some people just be like, oh my God, dude, like, and then some people, like, some of my friends have, like, opened up about what's going on, and, you know, like, that's kind of, like, it's nice to kind of do that for people and kind of, like...
So, we're talking about the skill of future events affecting present cognition, if we can look into that.
Right.
And is tarot card reading, is astrology kind of part of that? Is that kind of like a vice for it? I mean...
the thing is...
Or is it an illusion for people?
Depends on how you look at it, and a lot of people would say that it's an illusion.
Yeah, I guess we have to look at it
it's more
astrologically
so, like,
first.
Yeah, it's more so how you interpret it. And it's, you know, like, you can... It's very, very easy to write something off and say that it's bullshit, but it's hard to... It's much harder to at least dabble in it and then try to see if it's actually bullshit. Because a lot of people look at astrology or, you know, tarot reading, palm reading, any sort of anything of that sort, and kind of write it off in terms. And I mean, it's as of late becoming way more popular. Right. So I mean, it's definitely, like, I guess, kind of on the rise in popularity. But as far as from a general society standard, it's like not widely accepted. It's like easily written off. And I mean, personally, I know that I have gained a lot of insight from it. I know that I've learned a lot about myself and my surroundings and others.
Does it
through tarot, you know? So it's like,
is it the events in the actual reading, or is it tarot itself being able to, like, see?
I mean, everybody does their sort of readings differently, but I mean, I kind of, like, make a whole thing out of it. So, like, I light a ton of candles and have my crystals and everything and do that. And
so it's like ceremonial.
Sage and it's like, exactly. It's very...
It's almost like religious.
Like ritualistic, you know? And I mean, it's, you know, anything can be religious. Yeah. You know, in a
I think we're in an era of pioneer thinkers, because as of 2000, when data exploded across the internet, people started thinking for themselves because they had so many options. People are questioning things more. They're speaking out because they have to take on this responsibility. And so religion is an area of skepticism that's fueling up an entire era of people that are kind of creating their own traditions. And
yeah, absolutely. Sorry that you had to monologue there so I could get some water.
What I'm noticing is people taking religion on their own.
Oh, yeah.
And
right.
I mean, that seems like pretty easy.
That's the thing. It's like everybody. The thing is like, we live in a world where everything is put into a box, and people, when it comes to spirituality or religion or anything that they worship or believe, they don't want to be put in a box.
Yeah.
But when you live in a world where there's a category for everything, and this is labeled that, and that's labeled this, or whatever, and you want to go against that, it's where it creates this social sort of dissonance or friction.
I see this equilibrium, though, now that you're saying this, because we don't want to be in this box, but we want our own box. And we want to be seen as a box, but if it's personal, if it's a solo mission, finding you know, your voice or your religion, it doesn't need to be seen.
Right.
By others. But talking about it now, I think all humans want to be seen in that way. Or they want to be seen, but they don't want to be in the box. But both require the same attention. So
Right. You can't have one without the other.
yeah,
you know?
we.
I mean, like, the truth
But why
is,
do we want it to be a box, but not a box at the same time?
I think, like, a lot of that could tie in with just living in sort of, like, a self-obsessed culture.
Yeah, you're doing great, man. I mean, it's all about.
I think like social media can contribute a lot. I think just
So how
internet culture. I think a lot.
Yeah, and this ties right back to one of our first topics about, the soul consciousness or the, one's consciousness. Is one consciousness enough? Okay, here we are. We did it. We got to the DMT.
We
entered DMT land.
Is it this one?
Yeah. DMT.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
I guess that. Yeah. We can talk about psychedelics. Yeah.
That seems like a good point
Into
to
the
start talking about them.
Dajcast.
First Daj.
Yeah. So stemming from facing death, ultimate lesson to psychedelics. I think it's a pretty good segue. Yeah. Go ahead. No, we can. No, yeah, we should.
We don't have to.
I'm excited now because.
Well, I've never done DMT, so
I haven't either.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I haven't either. So let's talk about other people's experiences.
But I couldn't give a fucking account of someone else's experiences on DMT.
But the cumulative learning that we have to rely on at this point. So, I mean, DMT is a good one to call on for this because people do experience similar things.
Yeah, it's been said that
see something that
vivid. People that have had near-death experiences and that have also done DMT, they've said that they've felt very, very similar in the ways that they in the things that they see. I think. I don't know.
I mean, so have you talked about?
Don't quote me on that, but
sure, that is just fine. But what I see, a very sequential, vivid, dreamlike thing. They go to the city. It's colors they've never seen. It's like a new, amazing place. They see little people. There's usually an ultra being or an ultra energy source, and there's a door involved. People are seeking something, tying it to angels, tying it to a being like God.
But do you think that
that's
a
city like heaven?
Right.
This is Christian faith and
right. But do you think that DMT is just when you conk out, you're just kind of traveling the astral plane for that amount of time? Do you think you're just spending time where your consciousness leaves your physical being?
I think that
and is traveling through
the
cosmos of the universe?
If I really have to put it into words,
this is a fucking dense ass conversation.
Yeah, but really, if I have to put it into words, we are constantly streaming through these realms and planes, and what keeps us here is parts of our brain that DMT turns off. So our ego is an actual part of our brain.
Yes.
That is tied to our self and our knowing of who we are and that we exist. And so if that's happening and our heart is beating during this and we're able to wake up, that world didn't just turn on, something turned off to let us see. So that's how
So it's always there.
I think it must be.
I mean it's not like it can just appear out of thin air. But there comes a day, there comes a day where everybody leaves their meat body.
Mm-hmm.
They whatever happens, whatever you believe happens to you, I don't necessarily know if you're listening. But whatever you think, it could happen. No one knows though. So it might not happen. Could.
It might be up to your imagination. Whatever you imagine.
Honestly, that's kind of just what I fucking think. It's just dude, what if everyone's right? What if everyone's right? What if it all exists? That's
what
the
if
thing.
everyone can be right? Is what
it's what if everyone can be right? And what if everyone can coexist? It's wishful fucking thing.
Yeah. Which would
not to be so cynical.
That'd be liberating for people who truly believed it, people who like didn't know how to feel about that statement would probably just be confused or
Probably,
just think the regular way. But is it, is it up to you how you experience death and where you go? And we're not humans anymore when we die.
Know the answer to that question.
Yeah. Maybe on the 1000th Dajcast, we might disclaim some of these. But we're putting the questions out there now, so where the seed can grow.
Episode 1 of the Dajcast with Rocco Daro and Ezraclancy.
Yeah. You may know everything that we're asking right now. We're human.
We are human.
Our guest, Ezraclancy. This is Dajcast. Send us out.
There are moments in life that transcend the everyday. Hotman Jewelers is here to make those moments sparkle.